itadori yuji.
虎杖裕二。お前は強いから人を助けろ。
虎杖裕二は
殺してやる。
Hey guys, first video on this channel. Let's get it. Well, finally I was able to complete this video, man, and after through the trials and tribulations, I gotta say this video was pretty difficult. Not really. I was able to finish one of my favorite anime and mangas of all time, jujutsukaisen. Man, has this series have changed a lot since I first viewed it, and I gotta say it has been the most impactful, most generally awe-inspiring, badass inducing, most craziest shit that I've ever seen, like in any anime. Not since the days I've watched Yu Yu Hakusho and Cowboy Bebop. I'm still watching season 2, by the way, and I gotta say it looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, come on now, we're Jujutsu fans over here, so what do you expect? So especially after what's happened with Mappa animators, and honestly, man, they need the full support they need from you guys, because honestly they're just getting overworked the hell out. So please give them their full support, and I'll be going to a video on that as well. Anyways, we're going to be talking about a character that I know is going to be humanity's embodiment of fighting will spirit, the one that's going to change Jujutsu Kaisen forever, one that has both the community excitement and in fear, one that's going to change Shonen Jump for the better. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Itadori Yuji. I'd like to give you guys a quick shout out to a new sponsorship. It's going to be... Oh wait, I don't have any sponsorships and the subscribers count slow. Imagine that you are Itadori Yuji, 15 years old, was just in high school, and is now doing a dangerous particular task known as a jujutsu sorcerer, whose main job is to kill as many curses as he can while also protecting those he loves and the people he's surrounded with by those said curses, being ordered to do things by the higher ups, and have his morality questioned every single day, which brings up my next question I think a lot of people would love to have an answer for. Is Itadori still a jujutsu sorcerer? I know that's obvious, blah blah blah, who cares? But listen, when we first was introduced to Itadori's main thing was to save as many people as possible instead of killing as many curses as possible, which is why throughout this series in the manga it feels so different now, because when it comes to being a jujutsu sorcerer, not many things go into play, and oftentimes our ideals and moralities are being challenged by these sad things that we do. Even Itadori and his own classmates' fates are being tested by their strength and nothing else. But Itadori, however, wants to change that. Instead of dying alone because you don't have enough strength, you instead die with someone on your side because of the love that you have for your own people, because of your own actions to save everybody no matter what. And that even if you didn't have enough strength that time, you at least had enough strength to carry on their willpower, to carry on their spirits, to carry on what it means to be human, what it means to have a fighting will spirit. And overall just doing it because you know that it is right, you know that it is the right thing to do, and that there needs to be no purpose, reasoning, or meaning for that. Itadori knows it because he has it. He has the strength to do it, and he has the will to do it. But then here comes the opposite version of him, who might I say might be the most batshit insane character ever written, even far more than the Joker and Carnage himself. Here is Mahito. Yeah, this born batshit crazy individual is far worse than even the Joker himself, one that Itadori tries constantly to reject him, constantly denies himself that he is Mahito, that he is capable of doing such harm like him. And honestly, it just scares me too. Imagine if we were born evil and that everything that we knew about evil became something that's normal, became something that even someone like Itadori will eventually do. And as we are seeing Itadori's mentality changes, so do his demeanor, and that same demeanor is what we see in Batman. Despite his resolve to save everyone, he has a dark way of doing it. Whereas Itadori has the golden heart of Spider-Man. Itadori in and of itself is being constantly conflicted by this said person, and honestly this man is just too much. We have another video going on with this guy, so we'll talk later. Anyways, back to Itadori. Overall, being introduced to Sorcerer, it fucking sucks. Literally, anyone that were to take this job would never be the same again. Not just within themselves, but by society and life as a whole. And how doing all these missions by yourselves is part of the reason why dying alone is so frequent into the society world. How it feels to walk alone. So when something like that happens to us over time, we have this one question that many of us would love to get an answer for, and that's, how do you share, live, and carry on the pain of others when you are alone? And this sort of question needs to be answered more often, for the simple fact that most of us don't really know how to cope with what we just witnessed or saw when we least expected it, and that sort of thing is hard to pinpoint. So I think this quote from Berserk from Gus works. People bring the small flames of their wishes together. Since they don't want to extinguish the small flame, they'll bring that small flame to a bigger fire. A big flame that has been ignited since the beginning of time. But you know, I didn't bring a flame with me. I think I just stopped by to warm myself by the bonfire. Guts. And this comes from a man who has a fair share of experiences when it comes to working with other people, and not just other people as well, but by also his fellow comrades, and the people that appreciate him. Itadori, however, is still a young kid, still trying to find meanings or reasoning as to why he does the things the way he does. Is still trying to figure out how to save people like his grandpa told him before, but even then his strength and resolve wasn't enough, which ends up being a sin for him. But for his brother, however, he sees it differently. He sees a different type of strength that Itadori does not see, and that is his action. That is his fighting will spirit. It is something that Todo has seen since the very first time he has seen Itadori, and was even impressed by the answers he gives out, which was so shocking to Todo that he literally created a whole scenario where those two were best friends. And maybe they actually were, I don't know. I guess they were. Wait, how did we even get into this stuff? What? I don't know, but as far as I know, here is a character that knows more about Itadori's potential than even Gojo Satoru himself. I present to you, Aoi Todo. Aoi Todo was the perfect character to be on Itadori's side during his time of crisis. And we're not even gonna lie, that sort of combat scene when we seen was sick as fuck. Look at that shit! And Todo explains onwards that by being introduced to Sorcerer, you are also carrying the will of those who have passed on before and after you, and that you're not just carrying your fellow comrades and yourself, but you're carrying humanity itself, like those who died in the battles that you win, in the battles you fought, win or lose. And as he talks on, Todo asks him one life-changing question.
お前は何を託された?
This sort of question sparked Itadori's fire, and all of us eventually will have to answer as well. But for Itadori's answer, that is to basically embrace the pain and to keep fighting. For this flame has been in existence since the beginning of time, as this flame was built over by smaller flames who carry the same thing, fighting. Even those before him and currently didn't know about this until their actions eventually reached out to the people that would eventually carry out that said will, because within them also lies a small flame that is waiting to be carried over, that is waiting to be embraced. That sort of thing needs no question, no purpose, no meaning or reasoning. It just has to be done because it is what needs to be done. There is a reason as to why jobs such like Jujutsu sorcerers have such tragedy in it, because not even words and ideals can change the fate that they're in, because the only thing that they can really do is change things by their actions, and that even though their actions can't be reached out, eventually someone will know the change. Someone eventually and throughout history or at this moment or present time will know something has changed. And even if that sort of action is confusing and nobody really knows about it, someone will know, someone. And that sort of thing is hard to carry. It's hard to carry such things in which we don't want people to know. But at the same time, that sort of knowing brings us confidence and realization that we're not useless at all. We just need to know ourselves better, and that by knowing ourselves better and knowing what we're truly capable of, only then can we all be truly strong. Everyone else introduced to Hai know this, and they still keep on trying. Despite knowing their own weaknesses, despite knowing their weakness, if someone out there doesn't believe that they can change, then they'll prove them wrong. Even if it was all for naught and they end up dying, that sort of action eventually lingers on and beyondwards. And as Itadori realizes it, the flames that he once thought was extinguished now begins to rise as he starts to realize his mistake for using his sins to cover up his mistakes. And now, Itadori now comes back.
ごめん、ナナミ。楽になろうとした。罪すらも逃げる言い訳にした。あとは頼みます。俺、ナナミンの分までちゃんと苦しむよ。
You guys see it now. This is pretty much the reason why Jujutsu sorcerers have such a hard time reconnecting with themselves and the world, because they understand what it means to be a sorcerer. They understand that everything that they do can impact the future, can impact the overall people they surround themselves with, without even them knowing it. Itadori Yuji, however, he knows about it, probably more so than Gojo Satoru can admit. And this is pretty much why he takes such a liking to it. This scene right here between Itadori and Nobara is the best one, because it really sympathizes who Itadori really is, and overall in general, whether human or curse, is what she has to say.
私はぶっちゃけなんともない。術師やってりゃこういうこともあんでしょ。伏黒じゃないけどさ、結局助けられる人間なんて限りがあんのよ。私の人生の席っていうか、そこに座ってない人間に私の心をどうこうされたくないのよね。冷たい？ま、あんたみたいに自分で椅子持ってきて座ってるやつもいるけどね。
That chair moment scene fits exactly who Itadori is and who he is now. Despite the changes and differences of his dark resolve, he still has the willpower to make sure that everyone has a seat in life. And that even if he can't save those around him, he has at least people around him that can help him. And yeah, if we were in Itadori's shoe or anybody else's, we would have been scared shitless too. We would have been scared to the fact that when we die, nobody would know us. Nobody would care. But Itadori will still jump through skyscrapers, still jump on top of the buildings, still jump off the buildings, kick the damn window if he has to, punch a monster he does not comprehend, breaking through other domain expansions. Even if it was something he never understood, he would do his best to ensure that even cursed spirits that people believe cannot be defeated, he'll still do it. He'll kick the shit out of a monster, break through broken walls, cut his arms, lose an arm, and then use everything he has to defeat a cursed spirit. Going toe to toe with the king of curses himself, knowing that it was futile, knowing that he couldn't win it so easily, just so that you can have a seat in life. Sometimes when we go through life, we end up thinking that no one will save us, even if everything that we've done, from being quiet or being violent, no one would come and save us around, or nobody would hear us out because we're so alone. But that's the complete opposite. You have people out there who are trying to save their loved ones because of the care they have in them, while others for pure power, those that fight to defy fate itself, and others fight to destroy the injustices of society. And there are even those that despite the past, despite the things that has happened to them over time, unfortunate events that has led them to what they are and what has happened today, they still fight for the love that was given to each other, still fighting for that same passion, that faith in knowing that somewhere out there are people who love you for what you've done, and that in of itself is enough to keep on going. Even if their voices or yourself can't be heard, they will know it. And even I myself as a viewer is experiencing the same thing these characters are going through, but for different reasons. Maybe it's due to the actions that I'm not doing enough, or it's the fact that I don't have enough willpower. Either way, as long as you're still trying to change your fate, or rather trying to make a better difference, that's all enough. Find out that within society there's a lot of like-minded people like yourself and I that have the same thing. It is to make a difference. And even though making that difference is a tough road, it is a tough road that will lead you into that peaceful life. A peace that will lend you being around with people that you love, people that actually care, not because of the fact of what you are, what you look like, but for the fact that matter is your actions change the world for the better. And it's something that we are all capable of, that we should strive to be, that we should strive to be doing every single day. Itadori is a reminder of that no matter what, there's always somebody out there that's willing to bring their own seat just so you can have a second chance at life, just so that you can have a good chance at knowing who you are. And sometimes it is difficult to know who you are when the world tries to suppresses you and tries to mold you into something else. And Itadori understands that, which is why whenever you struggle, he doesn't fight back. Instead, he tries to care for you like a human, care for you like you need help, care for you like you need saving. This is why I always say that Itadori Yuji is us. Itadori Yuji is the hero of this modern anime age, and why I believe that him being around could really teach us something about ourselves, could make us realize that even if we go down that dark path, that dark road, someone will be there to remind us that we are carrying the flame, the fire that has been passed down since the beginning of time by our ancestors, and that whatever we do, we must make an impact. We must make a difference in life, and that each and every one of us has the potential to reach out the entire world through their innate will and actions. And that in of itself makes you a blessing, makes all of us a blessing. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this first ever review video here on this channel. If you guys like this, please sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content is on the way. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a really great day. Peace.